it. That's it.
Dan? Dan? Okay, yeah.
He doesn't mind coming to
Yes. Probably too close proximity.
Okay. Hi everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this evening as we welcome the National Methodist Youth Brass Band who've travelled from all over the country to be with us this weekend. They will tell you a bit more about who they are and what they do throughout this evening. But I've just got a couple of kind of housekeeping bits and pieces first. So first of all, can everybody make sure their phones are switched off, please, just because we don't want them going off in the middle of the concert. There will be tea and coffee and refreshments in the interval, and we have a retiring collection for our youth music group here in the Salisbury Methodist Church called the Jam. So if you would like to make a donation, you can either do that by cash or contactless, and that is just in the foyer where the refreshments will be as well. Sorry. Oh yes, and there is a merchandise stand as well that the band have, and they'll tell you a bit more information about that. So yes, I would like to welcome the band to come in, and then please give them a warm welcome. Thank you.
you very much. Thank you very much. I'm just going to talk. Thank you very much. That was our first piece. Obviously, you'll all know that was the hymn tune Deep Harmony. A lot of you may not know it's often called the Bandsman's Hymn. By the way, I'm Simon. The conductor of the band, we're back. Hello, my name's Simon, conductor of the National Methodist Youth Brass Band. Thank you all for coming tonight. As I said, that was the Bandsman's Hymn. First played by the band 37 years ago. We're this weekend celebrating our 37th birthday as a band. And every time the band's met, they've played the hymn, and it's really special to the band. We're going to move on in a very traditional way for a brass band concert. Often when you go to other band concerts, they'll start with a march, but we always start with Deep Harmony. And now we're going to play you a march. Now, a few years ago, there was a global pandemic. I don't know if any of you took part in it, but it was quite a big thing. And some politicians did some naughty things. We're going to play a piece of music called Barnard Castle. The piece is way more interesting than the politics story around it, so we'll just leave it there. So it was written to commemorate an anniversary of the village band in Barnard Castle, which is where Jonathan, our trombone player, comes from. Apparently it's in Durham. I didn't know that. I hope you enjoy it. Now, you're in for a treat. As you've seen already, I tend to forget where I'm going when I start speaking. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to pass the microphone round so all of these guys have to speak instead of me. In a minute, I'm going to pass the microphone to Eloise. You'll get on fine with her accent because she's southern. There'll be some points in the concert where you come across challenging accents. One's from Yorkshire, some from the Midlands, and Stephen. So what's going to happen? They'll introduce a piece, hopefully. They might tell you something about the band, hopefully. They might just forget and sit down again. Who knows? It's going to be a wild ride, but here is Eloise.
Hi, I'm Eloise, and I'm originally from Surrey, but currently studying in Birmingham. So I'm going to talk a bit about the history of the band. As Si said, 37 years ago, the band was formed in 1987 by a man called Norman Every, who wanted to combine his love of Methodism and brass banding. So he formed the band, and they had their first weekend at Surbiton Hill Methodist Church. So the next piece we're going to play is a jazz standard called Sweet Georgia Brown.
the West Midlands, but now I live in the East Midlands. Just moved across. I'm going to tell you about the Standard Band Weekend, which is what we are currently on and what we are currently doing. So on the Friday night, we will travel from our respective places of homage, living, working, to wherever we are going. We will meet, we will eat, we will talk well into the night, and then maybe get some sleep somewhere in there. Then on the Saturday morning, we'll get up, we'll do breakfast, and we'll do rehearsal, with a break in the middle, because we all like teas, coffees, and biscuits. And then after the rehearsal, we'll have lunch. Most of our things revolve around food. After lunch, we then get some free time to explore the local area. So I know me and a couple of people, we went round to see the cathedral, had a walk around the market. It's a lovely place around here, so we thoroughly enjoyed that. Then we will come back, we will have our tea, and then we will do a concert, which is what we are currently doing, in case you didn't know. After the concert, we will gather together for an epilogue, and then we will play games, talk, and at some point go to sleep. Then Sunday morning, we will get up, have breakfast again, and then we'll help, partake, lead the Sunday worship the next day, which is a really enjoyable thing that we all like doing. After that, we will typically have lunch, and then we'll go our separate ways back to wherever we live, work, and play. The next piece we are going to play is Meekness and Majesty.
Hello. Oh, hey. Probably shouldn't have put it so close to my face. My name is Andrew. I'm originally from Ashbourne in Derbyshire, but I now live in Sheffield. So I'm going to tell you about the other time in the year that the band meets, apart from weekends. So once a year we go on a tour, and it usually lasts for about 10 days, and sometimes we go abroad, sometimes we go more locally around the UK. And over the years, the band have been all over the world, to places like the USA, Jamaica, Poland, more recently Italy and Moldova. I went on both of those, very, very interesting places. And we also have been to sort of domestic places, like we went to Wales most recently, and also been to places like Devon, the Isle of Man, Scotland. Name a sort of corner of a country, and the chances are we've probably been there on a tour at some point. And this year's tour, which is coming up in August, is going to be to Cumbria. We are going to start in Carlisle, and then we are also going to be staying in Windermere and in Ulverston. So if you fancy a holiday to the Lake District this summer, make sure to time it to be the same time that we're there, and come along and watch us. There'll be more details sort of announced soon of the various concerts we'll be doing around the county, and of our chapel crawl, which is currently under construction, where we're going to try and visit as many churches in Cumbria on the same day as possible. It might be a long day. So the next piece we're going to play is one from an African capital city, and I'm a massive geography nerd who loves capital cities, and learnt earlier today that the capital of Zimbabwe used to be called Salisbury, which is a good local fact. And this is from the capital of Uganda, and does anybody know what that is called? Kampala. I saw Mark knew it there. So. Kampala. This is a piece from Kampala. It's from a sort of neighbourhood of Kampala, known for its sort of very vibrant music scene, and it's a great sort of stand-up and dance piece if that's what you want to do. It's called Kabala Gala.
Good evening. Good evening. Good. Are we on? No, well, I'll just shout. Good evening. My name is George. I originally come from Rotherham in South Yorkshire, but I now live in Nottingham. I'm here to tell you about some of the charities that the band supports. So supporting charities is a big thing that's been part of the band through its 37 years history. The band is completely self-funded. We don't get any grants from the Methodist Church, so we raise money through band members paying to come to band weekends and through selling our merchandise. But there are lots of charities that we like to support, and where we have the funds, we like to give away as much as we can to various good causes. So over the years, we've supported a range of charities, but currently we are supporting a charity in Italy called Imparare Giocando, who are based in Naples, a really poor area of Italy. And that charity provides safe spaces for children to spend time in after school before their parents finish work. And it's a charity that the band's visited twice in the past as part of their summer tour. We also support a charity called Under the Mango Tree, which works with communities in Africa to help build schools. And then closer to home, we support a charity called Teenage Lives vs Cancer, which is very dear to the band's heart because it supported one of the band members whilst they were undergoing treatment. And we also support a charity based in Moldova called La Via that looks to support children who've been orphaned. Again, that's another charity that we visited during our summer tours. So the next piece that we're going to play is a piece from that was written for Walt Disney World for their World of Colour Winter Dreams exhibition, and it's called Glow.
on. We're on. Prepared. We're learning. Hello, I'm Stephen, and I'm from Peterborough, so like 18 million years up north from here. So we had a lovely journey down, as you can imagine. This is the last piece before the interval. I like it. So as George mentioned earlier, we raise money through selling some things that the band have made, generally. So we've got 3 CDs on sale. So we've got When the Stars Began to Fall and Mid All the Traffic, which are both sort of concert items that the band have recorded in the past. And that's £10. And then we also have a CD called Days of Elijah, which is more Sunday school worship hymns, sort of style of music, which is £5. And then we also have some knitted items, which have been knitted by some of the band members' families. Wasn't him. I'd love to see you with a crochet and things like that. I think it'll be amazing. Yeah. Clearly, I'm not one of the knitters either, from my terminology. Yeah, so they're priced between £1 and £3, and every single piece of money that is raised by those will go straight to Teenage Lives versus Cancer as well. So back to our last piece before the interval. Okay. So there will be some refreshments that will be served out just through there, I believe. I think you're welcome to bring them back into the church as well. The space is limited out there, I guess. Yeah, yes, perfect. And we'll be playing a selection of music from a musical. Surprise, surprise. Any of you know a musical in France, set in France? Yes? Les Mis. Les Miserables. Les Miserables. I'm also not a linguist. So yeah, we'll be playing a selection of pieces from that. Hope you enjoy.
cake. Well, we've got to...
Hello. Hello, everyone. I hope you all had a nice break and had plenty of tea and coffee and biscuits. I'm Tom, and I'm from Grimsby, although I'm studying in Durham, which is where I've come from, so quite afar. quite a far journey. And I've been asked to talk to you today about quite a bit. So we're going to start off with, by audience request, the instruments in the band. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name the instruments, and if somebody who has one of those can just hold it up, that'd be nice. So to start off with, we've got the cornets over here. We've got the tenor horns. We have a baritone here. We've got my favourite, the euphoniums. We have the trombones behind me. We've got the E-flat basses here, tubas, and we have percussion, so can you lift up the kit? Now they're all back and sat down. That was all through the night, a Welsh lullaby, but it's been arranged in lots of ways, including by Haydn. And you may have noticed we had a quartet there for the beginning and the end, so can we just give those another round of applause, please? Okay, so the next thing I've got to talk to you about is the relationships in the band. So I'm going to start off with, can you please stand up if you have a brother or sister in the band?
We're not related.
And a cousin?
We are related.
If you met your current partner in the band? And also if you're related to any former members. Okay, the third thing I've got to talk to you about is the band motto, which is fun, faith and fellowship. So it's fairly straightforward. The fun for the fun we have on the weekends and tours and all that kind of thing. The fellowship for the shared faith that we have. And faith, well, yeah. The fellowship for the fellowship that we share together and the faith we share as well. Okay, moving on to the next piece. Going to introduce this with two questions. First of all, does anybody know what the 13th longest river in the country is? It's the River Avon, which runs through Salisbury. And second of all, does anybody know how deep it is at its deepest? It's 3.22 metres deep, which you find out with a quick Google in the interval. So that's not a very deep river, but the next piece we're going to do is a spiritual called Deep River.
Oh, yes. Took a lot of thinking about which switch to switch. Hello, my name is Charlotte, and I live in Sussex in a place called East Grinstead. And I've been asked to talk a little bit about where we all come from. Now, you've heard that most people, I think bar me, have come from further north than here. So maybe, I don't know. But yes, as you've heard, we're the National Methodist Youth Brass Band, so I thought we'd do a bit of where we've all come from. So, if you would class yourself as coming from the north, not necessarily north of here, but from the north, can you stand up? Fab. If you are from the south, stand up. And if you'd class yourself from being in the middle, the Midlands, stand up. Fab. So we come from all over the place, and although we're all from the UK, but the next piece we're going to play is called Every Nation, Every Tribe.
Good evening. My name is Nathan. I originally come from Guernsey, but I'm currently stationed as a Methodist minister in Rugby. You may think you are here to see the National Methodist Youth Brass Band, so why is somebody who's clearly not a youth still playing with the band? The really good thing about the band is that you need to be between 13 and 21 to join, but there is no leaving age. However, tonight it's my privilege to talk about membership. So it would be really nice to one day sit down and sit in the audience to listen to the band. So if you know anybody who is between the ages of 13 and 21 who plays a brass instrument or percussion and is sympathetic to the Christian faith, then we would love to hear from you. This is the most amazing band because it's not just a band, and it is a family that loves you and accepts you just the way that you are, and that truly encourages you to be yourself. I wouldn't be a Methodist minister if it wasn't for this band encouraging me. So I thank God for this amazing band and for the friends and for the family that I have been blessed with in the 23 years that I've been in the band. The next piece that we're going to play is the setting of the worship song, Purify My Heart, but listen carefully because there are other hymns and worship songs within the piece. So we're going to play Refiner's Fire.
I'm Rebecca, and I'm from Bradford in West Yorkshire. So if you've enjoyed what we've been doing and you want to find out more about the band, where we've been, where we're going, what we get up to, then after the concert you should find us on social media. So we're on Facebook, the National Methodist Youth Brass Band, and on Instagram, NMYBB. So the next piece that we're going to play is a medley by Abba. So you might be aware that it's coming up to 50 years since Abba won the Eurovision Song Contest in Brighton, but in 1974. And so the next piece that we're going to play is a medley from the album Abba Gold.
Thank Hello. Oh, it worked first time. That was nice. How are we all doing? Are we all enjoying ourselves? Brilliant. Well, I'm very glad to hear that. My name is Sarah, and I'm originally from Tamworth in Staffordshire, but now live in Leeds, and just moved to a part of Leeds that has fields, and it's very exciting. I've been living closest to the city for a while, and it's always nice to see fields, so that is lovely. As a band, as you've heard, we gather together at weekends like this around 5 times a year, and it's a really valuable time for us to come together to share in fun, faith and fellowship with each other. And this weekend we are a little bit smaller than usual. We do have a few members who can't be with us. There is usually, hopefully, another row here when we're lucky, and a smattering of others around the band, which is always really nice to gather together, no matter how big or small the band is. And as we gather together, we have a theme for the weekend. So we usually take something that either the church is exploring at the time. So a couple of weekends ago, the church was looking at the Methodist way of life and how we share our story. So we incorporated that into what we were doing. Or we look at whereabouts we are in the Christian calendar in the year, or something that we want to explore together as a band. And this weekend, we're continuing with the season of Easter, and we're looking at the story of doubting Thomas, which I'm sure many of you know about, but Thomas was one of Jesus' disciples. He's up there with Peter as one of my favourite disciples, actually. I think he's a quite cool guy. And I don't know if anyone else has a favourite disciple, but Simon Peter, nice. But Thomas was a man of great faith. He was a man who really wanted to understand what Jesus was here for and what Jesus' ministry really meant. But Thomas is known as the doubter, which is kind of ironic, even though it was one incident of his journey with Jesus when Jesus appeared to the other disciples and said, "I've risen, I'm here, and I'm going to send my spirit among you." And Thomas wasn't there. And that's a real occasion to miss out on, isn't it? Like, that's not just like your classmate's birthday party. I'm pretty sure he was probably quite gutted at that point that he'd missed out on that. And Thomas says that unless I see those scars for myself, I won't believe. How could I believe? And this weekend, we're actually unpacking that a little bit and thinking, first off, what it means to have faith and why it's really important that we have faith, but also know truth. And how we know that things are true. And we spoke last night in our epilogue about the importance of proof. And actually that was a big thing for Thomas. He needed that proof that Jesus had risen. And we spent a little bit of time unpacking that. And we're going to look at that a little bit more this evening as well, in terms of what it means to doubt in our faith. I think doubting is one of those things that we don't talk about a lot. And actually, as a band, as a family, we believe it's really important to be supporting each other in our faith journeys as well. And that's partly why we do what we do. So this evening, we're going to be looking at that and then exploring some more of what that looks like in the service tomorrow, and looking a little bit more at Thomas's story and how that can encourage us to be open and honest about the doubts that we have, and be able to share those with each other, share those with God, and how that can strengthen our faith. So that's just a little bit of an insight into what we've been doing this weekend. And if you are around tomorrow morning, we would love to see you in worship and worship with you. We're going to be sharing some bits of testimony. We're going to be leading the music, leading prayers, and things like that as well. And there might even be some fun animal facts, which have just been thrown in there. So if that is intriguing anyone, then I will leave you with that and see you tomorrow morning. But the next piece that we're going to play is a beautiful song setting of is it a folk song? Yeah, this folk song, Shenandoah, and it's called Mid All the Traffic.
Now, thank you. The microphone's made its way back to me, which can only mean one of three things. I'm in the wrong place, they're in the wrong place, or we're at the end of the concert. Sadly, we're at the end of the concert. 1 out of 10 clearly haven't enjoyed yourselves. Well, fortunately for you, we're going to send you out with a whopper. Who here likes musicals? No one. Lovely. Good. Who here likes musicals by Andrew Lloyd Webber? Good. Who likes The Phantom of the Opera? We're not playing that, sorry. Who likes Cats? We're not playing that either. Who likes Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat? You're in for a treat. Because to send you home tonight, we are going to play some highlights from Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat. But first, Have you all bought CDs? That was a very muted yes, but there was one yes from Sarah's mother. Have you all bought CDs? Have you all bought knitted items? Good. I'm going to try again now with a question I asked you a few minutes ago. Have you enjoyed yourselves? 3 out of 10. I'll ask you after Joseph. Clearly you need a big finale to get spirits up. It's been a bit of a downer, so we'll leave you on a big one. But I first of all need to say thank you to some people. So if you've had anything to do with the band being here, if that's catering, putting on the lights, finding the lights for those lights earlier, whoever that was, thank you. Heating this room, because this morning when we came in here, it was about minus 200 degrees. So whoever's put the heating on, thank you very much. So if you've had anything to do with the weekend, the band would like to say a massive thank you. No. Once again, we'd like to hope that you've had a lovely time. Thank you for joining us. We've been the National Methodist Youth Brass Band, and this is highlights from Joseph. Well, since you asked so nicely, so off the cuff, out of the blue, more music. Well, now if I ask you a question I asked several minutes ago now, have you enjoyed yourselves? Yeah. See, now we're talking. That's a response. Good. I'm glad you've enjoyed yourselves. We've enjoyed yourselves. Band, have you enjoyed yourselves? Yeah. 3 out of 10. They didn't know I was going to do that. That was genuine. As it happens, we've done this before, and we've not come unprepared. But, sometimes people don't want more. So we will play one more for you because you've been such a lovely audience and so responsive, and you've bought all of our merchandise, and we're going home with deep, deep pockets. George, the treasurer, is over the moon. And if on the way out you could show proof of purchase by flashing your CD, you'll be allowed out of the building. No, thank you once again for coming and wasting 2 hours of your life listening to me ramble on. We're going to leave you with 3 short verses of We Are Marching in the Light of God.
Thank you.